turn 4. At the latest, like you want to have bursted the enemy at some point here, or you might be in a little bit of trouble because you're going to be taking a decent amount of health. But like the longer the game goes, the more susceptible you are to the pop off turn from the Zen, and your ability to resist the pop off turn from Zen is not major. Like yeah, you run a bunch of 3 blocks, but you also run 2 blocks and no blocks, and obviously the more you block, with the way we have KANO built currently, you don't really play on 2 card hands as good as you used to, or at the very least, they contribute to winning a little bit less. So you're going to prioritize bursting the enemy as fast as you can. So one weird thing about this is Zen doesn't really pack a bunch of 1 hits like Katsu does. So like if this was Katsu, yeah, you're going to want to probably block at least a decent amount, or at least you're going to block at least once on the chain. If you don't have like a really good offensive turn. Because Katsu will punish you because like we're Zen. So like the weird thing about Zen is like you can't really control when he pops off. Because it's just like I have chi, I'm gonna get to tutor for what I want regardless of what you can do about it. But where Katsu is, it's like Katsu can't just randomly have it, but Katsu can force himself to have it, but he has to hit. That's like the small trade-off between the 2 heroes. So you're not really pricing the blocking. But you do need to kind of keep your left high if you don't have an amazing hand, and you really got to read that. So if your hand is like red Aether Flare, blue, blue, and then like I don't know, Cindering. I'll just put Cindering Foresight. This is not a hand I'm excited to take back to my own turn. Like your best play is like I don't know, like Crucible Flare. And then like peek a KANO off the top, but then you have this like random 2 block that's in your hand that doesn't really do anything. Like the Sending Foresight kind of incentivizes you to play on your opponent's turn. But like with this hand, it's like okay, if you hit like a really good spell, like you hit like another like Aether Flare, or you hit like a Lessons, or something like even a Blazing. Like yeah, if you hit a random good blue spell off the top, which you do get some looks at with the Sending Foresight, it's awesome. It's awesome. But you're going to be losing a card with this, so it's like you're going to be down a resource. So this is just a resource that does not happen. This costs 1, but it's only going to pump 1 thing. And if your opponent's at a high life total, this is not a combo you want to look for, even if they tap out. Like, your opponent could tap out, this could be your hand, and you should just not go for it. You should just go back to your own turn. And when you're in that kind of scenario, you probably should have just blocked. Now, if you want to take the angle where, obviously we're a Kindle deck, so you can go back to your own turn, take a peek off a KANO. You're going to have at least 2 resources floating if you're going to play this, so as long as it costs 2 or less, you can play it, which it's going to. You can do Aether Flare, like Crucible Aether Flare, the spell that you find here, is you can just Arsenal this Sending Foresight, and then obviously, like, if the following hand has, like, a Kindle, or, like a Wildfire, or something, like, you're looking pretty good. But the issue is like this matchup can be very fast where you're openly taking a chance by taking one of those lines. That's why like I am kind of fine blocking in this matchup more than the average person. Um, Unless I know for a fact I can get a really big chunk on my opponent's turn. Like let's say they're at 40, and I know I can chunk them for like maybe 6 and take them to like 34. It's just like, okay, they're in combo range if I have a Kindle and some really good spells off the top. If I can get them to like 30, I'm like, okay, this is probably where I'm going to like stop blocking. Because any hand could probably just kill them as long as it's not like the most awful, like atrocious thing ever. But again, it's just like with a deck as fast as Zen, it's like you have to be very confident in those decisions. That is why some people just do take the mentality of I'm never going to block this in, and I'm just going to chunk every single turn. But because like you have a large density of blue still, and if you don't have any multipliers in your hand, like your damage isn't very impressive. You can't actively just lose a game by just like saying I'm never going to block this in, and then you never actively find like a turn. Because like I've had times where I'm not blocking the Zen. I'm like, okay, I have a wildfire and a bunch of blues. I kind of just have to go right here. Because it's just how the hand lined up, and it's just like I can't know. It's like potion, blue spell, and I'm just like, cool, the game's over. Nice. Um, so you have to be really confident in how you built your deck, where you built it slightly more aggressive. That's why my KANO is personally a little more aggressive. Or you just have to kind of rely on some amount of luck, which with a deck that plays off the top of his deck, yeah, you're relying on some amount of luck. If you do choose to play on the opponent's turn, so that's just some things to think about. Those are the two big things, just like understanding like blocking decisions and one burst. For the Zen, you have to make the KANO uncomfortable. If you just allow the KANO to freely go to his turn every single turn because you're like super scared of like just dying, because like yeah, like and I'll have like a video around about AB3 because I'm pretty sure this is, if this isn't Tide Flippers, I'm gonna lose my shit. I would assume it's Time Flippers. But this is what I hate is the people that hide behind like AB3 and go like, I have AB3, I can't die to KANO. I'm just like, brother, I've literally killed people with like AB like Levia has like what, AB2 Swell Void 4, and I've still just killed the Levia from like 40 plus. It's like AB will save you sometimes. Like the big thing with AB is if you're a deck that can pitch to it, while simultaneously either putting on a bunch of pressure or constant disruption. Now Zen falls in the category where he plays a bunch of blues and he can pressure. So like if he wants to run AB3, that's completely fine. I also don't hate Zens that run like AB1. I get it. I think the scariest thing for me personally as a KANO player, is when they run AB3 Swell Void 1 with either the head or chest. I am personally on AB3 Swell Void 1 with not the headpiece, especially after the Blue Bondsman. I know a lot of people said you can forego the chest and you want to keep the links. Because the big thing is, like, trying to transcend is somewhat risky, because a lot of times you're going to be losing 2 cards in your hand to do it. Like, now, obviously, if you, like, pitch a blue, play, like, a blue harm with that, yeah, you're going to satisfy transcend, you're going to have 2 floating. But yeah, at the end of the day, you're still going to lose 2 cards from your hand in that cycle. Actually, 3 cards in that. So you are, there is a war where you get punished by the KANO. That's where I think that I understand the people that want to do Spell Void here. And not let the KANO have a war where like, oh, if the KANO just has it, I lose. So like Spell Void 1 here, and then like Lynx. Like Lynx is very good, again, because it could get blue bonds. It can give you that like pop off turn that you need very, very early. So like, yeah, AB3 Spell Void 1, super annoying, because they just like neg, it is neg 20 or wildfire combo for like no fucking reason, and you know they barely had to work for it. But with standard AB, and this is the thing that people don't understand, that's why like when I see people rock with like AB1 into me, and I'm like, okay, you're really just gonna make this like a coin flip race, and I get that. Because if you're just hiding behind AB, and you're like, I am super scared to play the game. Here's the worst part. Let me actually give a side rant real quick. Side rant. Like, okay, so people that go like card, maybe weapon, and they have like 1 or 2 floating, and all that stuff, and then they have just like this card, and I'm like, I'm just gonna send it. And people are like super confused on when I say only have 1 card in hand. But here's what I'm asking the player. And specifically like Don Zen. Like Zen's like a little bit of a difference here. But let's say you're another deck. You're gonna Arsenal blue card. You're gonna IP it. Like whether you choose to put this random ass blue card in your arsenal, or you choose to keep it in your hand, that's fucking horrible. This is horrible. I laugh at the times where I do pop off, and somebody was just palming a blue, and then they still die. It's just, and like again, more often times than not, it's a red, because it's so much better to Arsenal. And the whole, and it's like a unspoken thing where like, it could be a blue, And because it could be a blue, maybe the Kano holds back. But because I know no one is that fucking dumb to hold a blue. Unless, like, again, if it's a bad player holding a blue, yeah, I almost know I'm going to beat that player. But it's like 9 times out of 10, I just call someone's bluff. It turns out to be a fucking red, and they just die. That's a little bit of a side rant. Um, but yeah, like trying to hide behind AB and just thinking AB is going to be the reason why you win a match is just not smart. With a deck that can have floating resources at time, has a decently high blue count, that can pressure, I definitely like the AB from ZEN. But yeah, like step number one, obviously, is like you make the Kano uncomfortable. Come. Step two, like if possible, fill graveyard. Because I'm not physically attacking you as the Kano player, it's going to be a little bit harder. But that's where just kind of like shoving most of your hands onto the battlefield and just saying like, hey, if you got it, you got it. Type things can be like helpful because like you don't need like a fat graveyard. You don't need like 20, like 15 or 20 cards in there. You just want like a Descendant and like a Bonds. And maybe like one other card, so you can like double bonds the Kano because they're only at 30, right? And they run someone of 2 blocks and no blocks. You just need to be able to have like a really, really good turn. The one good thing is like if you're actually built around tigers a little bit more, you don't even need the graveyard as much. Like the ones that play like Chase the Tail. People that play like Chase the Tail, like an Aspect. I mean, like most of them play Aspect. But the ones that are like really playing Chase the Tail and other Tiger energies, you actually care about your graveyard a little bit less. Which is awesome because that's just a whole step you have to skip. We definitely take that. But if you're on like heavy bonds, fill that graveyard if you can with good combo cards is super important. And realistically, that's it for the ZEN. This is what I'm saying. It's like the only dynamic to the matchup is if they're running one of the spell voids. Um, the matchup gets a little bit interesting. Um, or if they're like only an AB2, it changes again slightly. And these are again slight changes. Or if they're on Tiger or Bonds combo. This is probably like the biggest difference is like Tiger and Bonds. Because like Tiger needs kind of less setup. Like you just need to have Tiger generations and you're fine. But obviously it has a way lower ceiling than a Bonds. But it takes the Bonds like so much more to get going. Like yeah, you can have turn 2 pop off with Bonds. Like absolutely. But like it's just like yeah, does it happen every game? No. Does it happen consistently? Not really. If I'm not like assisting you with filling up your graveyard. Then again, like this always like the other biggest thing. But let's go and get into the game. So I guess talk about first and second real quick. I'll also go over that. So I was always a go second believer in Kano for the longest time. But with the advent of Kindle and just the explosive turns that can happen very quickly, I actually enjoy kind of going first in a lot of matchups now. Especially like with like the blue hands, like if I can just go like pitch a card, get like oh no, like an E-Pod or something, or even a Deja Vu potion. Or like there's been times where I go like activate Kano, sees a wildfire, I go like pass, and I put another combo piece. It's just like awesome. I like exactly know everything. Obviously, you were gonna draw the card anyway. Now, obviously, this changes a little bit. There are times like if this is a wildfire, I'll just play it. But this one, if they're on like low AB, I'll play it. I guess here in this exact scenario, like if I play the wildfire, they'll just leak 2 no matter what. They'll go to 38. The issue is like that's like the only like really free chunk that I would have. And then I'm pricing like okay, in the next like 3 turns, I better find another one. Oh, or I better find like a Kindle or something. But like I really actually enjoy first, and I haven't actually missed the times where like my opponent plays a bunch of cards, and then like I'm like, oh, I get to Psycho Flip and hit him. It's like most people go like, I'll go first against Kano, pass, and it's like okay, that's fine. Like, yeah, you get an arsenal, and like it. The only time I will like KANO if I have like 3 no blocks, I might do it, or if it's I need to set up or filter my deck at all costs. But I don't think that those are common. I think in very niche scenarios, like you'll need to like turn 0 potions, but again, that requires you to exactly see a potion. So it's like saying like your only way to win is a X% chance to randomly see one of your 60 cards on the top of your deck turn 1. Will turn 0 exactly. It's just like, yeah, okay. But yeah, I really do enjoy going first with KANO now. Because like it just feels so good if I just go like Epop pass. My opponent doesn't get the filter, and then I just know, oh, that's not good. I still don't hate going second. Um, like yeah, it still has its perks it's always had. From the ZEN side, since I'm not going into deck that's going to physically attack me, I like going first as the ZEN, and I'm not super worried about the KANO like KANOing off on my turn. Like I'm down to take like maybe like 4 to like 6 damage as a ZEN player if it means I pushed like 12 to 15 and I was able to fill my graveyard. And obviously, again, these are like arbitrary numbers. Um, obviously, it's the go. It's not always going to line up like that. But if I see that I have high burst potential in my opening hand, it's like either I can get making them give me their hand, and it's really good when they have no blocks. And I can also fill my graveyard. But like if it's like just a decent hand, I don't mind just Arsenal passing either. It's like I'm kind of fine with all results that happen. So like this is slightly personal preference. Again, I would rather be first in this matchup, but like for different reasons for both sides. Alright, and going to equipment setup, we do see the AB3 and the Kakaya. And then we see a very standard setup here. We do see the Spellfire Cloak. We'll see, we'll find out who's going first. I usually actually speed this up. Let me speed this up. But it's a KANO game, so it's like, I could. Okay, so the KANO. This KANO's just a better player. But yeah, this is literally the magic. Like anything that you see after this is just gold. Oh, well, sometimes you're just a better player. I'm not gonna lie, I'd be shitting myself if I was this. I would be shitting myself. Wait, hold on. I swear this game didn't end in like 5 minutes. I swear my life. Alright, hopefully I missed something. And like, because this is like fucking disgusting. Alright, we're seeing another peak. Keeps on top, sure. Arsenal passes, then does not get the filter, which is awesome. We see 5 blues, so I am working on a guide. At the time of recording this, I'm actually making a KANO guide. One thing I talk about is card counting. And this is like, the deck is more blackjack than it was before. So you've seen 5 blue cards here, mandatory. I don't know what this card is, honestly, but like, I would assume it's probably a red. So depending on how many blues like you run, like you need to have that running count. So like, no, let's just say you're on like 33. You just seen 5, so now you're like on 28. And the more blues that you see, the more likely you end up seeing reds. And you need to keep that in mind because there were times where like I seen like 10 blues in a row and I got super scared. And my opponent was like, "I think you're gonna beat me here." I'm like, "I'm pretty sure I'm gonna lose the game." And they didn't understand, but like I knew I was going to draw a bunch of reds, and then what do you know? The next 6 cards in my deck were all red, and then I just couldn't play the game for like a turn and a half, and I lost. So this is something to definitely keep in mind: is the color of your card that you're seeing. What are we? Oh, they paused, or this is the what? Why? What's happening? Okay, I don't know what happened. They like paused, and this is like 2 times soon. They paused for a while. All right, let's see if I can get an eye on the KANO's hand. Okay, Aether Quicken. Well, let me go back because I know he painted out a little bit. Okay, so E-Pot, Aether Quicken. Okay, just looking at those two cards. Looks like maybe a Prognosticate. Maybe it's a 30 pot? So we know at least he has double blue. And if he has another comp piece, okay, hold on. So we know like the KANO has at least 2 blues at the very least, and like this right here, obviously you don't want to use the cards like that, but this right here is in theory a 3rd blue. So in theory his hand is 3 blues, and let's just say he has something like a blazing, or a wildfire, like, and obviously you can mismatch either one, like as long as you have one or the other. Technically, he can go for combo. It's not going to be a high damage combo because he most likely won't be able to pump them. And he also will have to find the 0 cost. But like this is not a thing I hate. I don't hate just like because he's already lost 2 cards. Obviously, he's gonna go back up to 3. Depending on how many cards he plays out, I don't hate if I just have combo here. If I just send it when he's tapped low, if I can chunk him for like 20. That's awesome. Especially this is like a Kindle and I don't have to use my Striders. Like the least amount of resources I need to use the better. Like obviously this potion deja vu and this rags. My thing got thicker. I hate when it does that. Because you have these 2 things right here, you're not actually pricing the Stridersing. Unless again this is like a wildfire or a blazing or something and maybe you're like, incentivized to. But there's a lot of opportunities where you can look to chunk someone. And I don't hate it in this spot if the ZEN taps low. That's why I wanted to see the hand. To see if we had a window. But I can tell, I know he has at least 2 blues. Can't really tell everything else. KANO's thinking on that. Obviously, you're just going to let this resolve. There's no reason to like try to go off here. Gets rid of a Tiger Swipe? Sure. ZEN starts off with blue spinning. Is this blue spinning Will Kick? Okay, that looked blue for like a second. Okay, red spinning Will Kick goes to 1 resource. So we have two in the hand. So one other thing that you can also look at as a player, and this is something to help other people, is a lot of people always scare the KANO could combo off. And like, okay, technically speaking, there is like a scenario where KANO could still combo off after losing a card. He almost like wouldn't block here unless he's one to bluff, like super heavy. But if his hand's like, in theory, like Aether Wind, blue, and this is like a Kindle or something, he could like pitch tome blue, blue, deja, like to KANO, obviously, Kindle, draw blue, play the tome, draw 2 cards. Has a KANO floating, so he has 3 cards in and a KANO floating. Like, there can be some stuff that happens. But like this is not a common thing after blocking, unless you're playing like some high level mind game. And obviously, again, you have the pot, you have this, so like things are definitely possible, but they're not common. So the moment you see the KANO to give you a card here, you're kind of safe to start playing more cards. Because it's not like the KANO's going to use these 3 cards to just like around like a June unless they're a very specific set of cards, which you were kind of screwed that way anyway. So you kind of just want to play free in this spot. Obviously, opponent takes 2. Chase the toe. Okay, so this has a very small turn. This is one of the reasons I like don't like Art of Warring this way. Now I guess looking at the hand structure, I don't know what 2 cards the ZEN player drew. But this is just 10 damage. Presented here, not great, especially when you're using one of your power cards. Like the plus side is you could use all your resources efficiently. But the issue is like, again, in a weird world where the KANO would now want to do something, you only have 1 card in hand, and now you're probably like, do you want to arsenal this? Again, it's most likely a red. I guess because it's ZEN, it could be a blue because ZEN wants to actively be putting blues on the combat chain. But like, if it's non-ZEN hero, like you're in like kind of a weird spot if the KANO wanted to do something. But obviously, again, because he gave you a card here, he's not. But this is like not the kind of Art of War turn you want. Like if I am KANO, I don't hate because again I believe he has an E-Pot. It's just like blocking 6, taking 0, playing Epot Pass. Like I almost think the game is unlosable from that point unless you just draw absolutely abysmal. Especially when like your opponent has no go again, all the information's face up. Okay, it's a zap. Yeah, so like 100%, I'm pretty sure you just block 6 and play the Epot. Like yeah, like you're not like sending any damage to your opponent, you're not stripping any cards, but establishing another Epot, especially if you can find multipliers on a combo turn, just gives you so much excess mana to be able to pump more. Now, if you wanted to take the 5, like if you live in a world where you want, like, because like I said, one of the goals is to burst early, like absolutely. And like you already have 80 pots, so do you really need the second one? No, but it's something I definitely would like to have. And a more aggressive version is you can just go back to your own turn. You can go to 23. Go to your turn. You have access to. I think I would still play the Epot. So you have like 2 blues here. So you have like a free KANO and then like a card to play the card. Hopefully with the Crucible buff and then play the Epot. That's a secondary thing. If you can strip a card from them, doing that way and chunk them, that's amazing. So you have pretty much 2 paths. You have a little bit more of a passive route. You have more of an aggressive route. So they're gonna take more of the aggressive route here. I would still again like to establish the Epot. And ladies and gentlemen, this is why you don't KANO on your opponent's turn. Like obviously he didn't, but like this is what I try to tell people. Where like they're super scared of KANO, just randomly killing them. It's just like, okay, let's just say you tapped out. Last turn this is in, and the KANO goes KANO. And you see blue Aether Dart. Oh boy, blue Aether Dart, here we go, guys. KANO, blue Aether Quickening. Okay, Tome's pretty good here. Refreshes the hand. KANO. Again, let's actually all pretend this is on the KANO's turn. Or the ZEN's turn. KANO. Blue Aether Flare. Congratulations. Your hand deals like negative damage. This is why you don't need to be scared of KANO randomly going off on your opponent's turn. This is why. And most KANOs understand this. That's why a lot of times people are going like, does this resolve? This resolve? I'm like, yeah. Like, unless you tap out, I'm not going to even think about doing anything. And if I was going to do anything, it's because I have a Kindle, like, and like a Sendering, and you were dead no matter what. And I'm just going to, like, I'm just going to kill you now. I don't care. But yeah, like, this is why you don't need to be scared of KANO just randomly doing stuff. Because, like, if he, like, let's say he took, like, 20 damage or something, and he's at, like, I don't know, like, 7. It's like 7 and it's like 30. And like you finally tapped out as the ZEN. You're like, I put you to 7. Let's see what you got. And like the KANO goes like KANO. And it's just like this. It's just like gross. But even on like the ZEN, like even on the KANO's own turn, this is also not impressive. Like I would either like take. Honestly, we don't know how this turn develops. But, like I don't care to take any of this damage. These are the only 2 spells that's going to be thrown at me. Because again, he should be playing the Epot. Because I think he has 1 out of the card in hand because he drew 2. He might only have 1. I might be misremembering. But I don't hate taking this or just giving a blue, just to put yourself out of certain combo ranges. This is again what I talked about. This is a lot of blues in a row. There's going to come a point where he's going to see a bunch of reds. Now that's probably a turn that we block a decent bit, or we rely on like Epots a little more. Okay, so he's going to end up using the Epot, so he's just going to send all the damage. Ooh, drew a red Aether Flare. Okay, cool. So, like, he drew a red Aether Flare, had his action point. So this is if this is what I'm doing, if I'm not playing an Epot, I'll definitely take it. It's one of the few plays that I'll do. Only because I can play all 3 of these spells. If this was, like, Wildfire in my hand, I would almost just play the Epot and just IP myself and, like, just throw the Aether Dart. But this is going to be 4 into 5 into 6. Obviously, this Aether Dart's 4. It's going to pump this blue Aether Dart to 5. Why does this keep getting bigger? This is going to be 4. Another Aether Dart's going to come in. It's going to be pumped by 4, so it's going to go to 5. This is again obviously saying like if the ZEN just like eats all of it. This Aether Dart dealt 5, so this Aether Dart is going to deal 6. So you have 15 damage here, which is pretty solid if it goes unmitigated. But the whole reason why like the A-Bang would be pretty good here from this inside, if the Zen sends this, you AB 3, you now take 1. And then this Aether Dart right here is going to come in for 2, and this is going to come in for 3. So instead of taking instead of taking 15, you could just take 6. You could just neg 9 this just by giving a card. Like, how impactful is that this blue's going to like block 9? Pretty impactful. But yeah, like I said, if I'm not playing Geek Pod and this is the play I'm doing, I'm fine with it. Yep, gives the blue, only takes 1. This is going to come in for 2. Yeah, I'm 100% just taking the 2 and then taking the 3 here. Oh, unless like you don't have an amazing hand, then you can give like another blue. It's fine, and then you just like dick down this KANO's turn. Because he didn't set up and he dealt minimal damage. He didn't accomplish any goal really. But this is on time 2 speed. Jesus Christ, mate. But yeah, like I said, if you just want to do the safe route, you can just AB to this. Call it a day. I assume like I assume we're doing math. He's doing math for his damage, not the KANO's damage. Because like the KANO's very face up here. Like in theory, like again, this would almost never happen. The thing they could do is like Epot Striders in like a big blazing. Like that's just awful and like the worst possible play he could ever make. Unless he has like a random card hidden here, but I'm pretty sure he shouldn't. He openly can't do anything that you don't know. So I assume this Zen is just mathing his turn with 2 cards versus 3 cards, or like I guess technically 4 versus 3. Yep, and he is going to give the card. Yep, again, I don't hate this. He actually has the floating mana to save B1, which is awesome, and yeah, the KANO's just going to block this 100%. I can. The moment someone reads Zephyr Needle, I always know they're going to block it. Like, it is like the most sure block I've ever seen. Which, like, the Zen doesn't care. Like, the Zen knows, like, he's, like, the Zephyr Needle's going to break. It's literally just to be like, do I get to do double damage of a Kadachi, or are you going to give me a card? I don't care which. The Ascendant, sweet. Gets to be mana efficient, has mana floating here. I didn't really get to see the Kalos Fantasy Gaze. It looks like Gaze Wildfire. Let me back up. See if he pans out his hand at all. But I seen Gaze and a Wildfire. It looked like. Gaze, Wildfire, Aether Arc. And then is this Prognosticate? Like that's what like the wording is telling me. Yeah, Gaze. Oh, that might be a tome actually. Hold on. Move your hand. Move your fucking hand. It doesn't matter. He's blocking. It actually doesn't matter. Okay, yeah, this is someone fine though. Let me think here. So obviously, I don't know what the arsenal is, but I'm gonna keep it a stack with you. If that is Tome of Findo, Blue Wildfire. Again, depends on the card and arsenal. This hand is going to be super weak. I would almost just not block this at all. Like, yeah, it feels sucks that you're just taking 2. I would see what he's going to do with these 2 cards. Because if he taps low and this is your hand, you just go KANO underpitch, KANO, you have 2 floating. Actually, wait, you do a KANO, pitch the Tome in the blue. 2 floating, then you'd go KANO. Like KANO. And then KANO pitching another blue. I guess you would underpitch, so then you would just have 3 floating. So you have KANO, and you have Tome, Wildfire, Blue. You would then Deja Vu it. You would put the Tomes and the 2 blues and the Wildfire. Then you'd go to this with 3 resources, and then also depending on what this is. You won't have any KANOs floating, but you'll have the mana. You'll have plenty of mana, especially with this E-Pot here. And like this. And again, obviously, again, depends on what this is. But there's a lot of opportunities for combo here. I don't like committing a block this early, especially just to break the Zephyr Needle. Like, it's not actually that deep. So I think we shotgun a blocked a little too quick there. They're just gonna... oh, okay. They have like a 1 cost? Oh, we just Arsenal a Zap. Brother. Ew. That's gonna be the first brother ew of this. Brother ew. Bro, these are like worse than tempo negative plays. This is just ew. Ugh. Like, and like, but here's the thing though, right? Because it's a wildfire turn, and if you either hit a blazing, well, blazing is an aimfire. If you hit another aimfire, I don't even hate playing this. Like, I get why you clear it out now, and you didn't take a lot of damage for clearing this out. You didn't take any damage for clearing this out. But it's like you had such a big opportunity to chunk there. Like, yeah, you just would have had this in your Arsenal stone and it felt horrible. We're like, that's why I kind of Arsenal it. Like, yeah, there's a mind game that you can play of, like, is this a wildfire? And your opponent has to think about it. Like, absolutely. But, like, I would rather not play the mind game and just make my life a little bit easier and not have to take these, like, really bad play cycles. Like, it is such a damage. Not, like, it'll probably just buy a blue out of their hand. Or they'll take it. It doesn't really matter. Like, the Zen just has to see if he can use all the cards efficiently on his turn. Yeah, just takes the 2, sure. Yeah, it's fine. So he can probably use all the cards. But we do know he's Arsenal Wildfire. We do know he's Arsenal Wildfire. Alright, let's see if I can find... So it's a Spindle. Might be a blue Spindle. Might be a Blazing? Lesson? Okay, I see a Lessons. It's a Lessons. Okay, so here I'm gonna be very, very patient. I'm gonna be very, very patient if I'm the KANO here. See what my opponent does. But I would imagine like there's probably some reds in there, like possibly 2 reds, because that's a lot of blues I've seen in a row. For their side, I believe I've seen a Rising Sun setting Moon. Pitching the East Strike is super telling that they probably just have a combo, because like pitching this to play this is super inefficient. It is just straight up just awful. So this is almost 100% telling you that your opponent has a Bonds. Somewhere in these 3 cards, and then they have really good follow-up. Because if your goal was like to kill the KANO, which is this, you would 100% just be playing this. Oh, that's not right. I'm still was writing down. This is what, Passover? Yeah, this is Passover, yeah. So they're gonna be able to Shin-Sen, they're gonna have a mana floating. So like this is kind of a window that you have, because the Zen has 1 card in hand. So if you just have combo, before they actually transcend and get the resource and get the blue back, you can look to just hit them. You are taking a risk, but if they do end up committing cards to blocking, it's gonna make it almost impossible for them to kill you. And like the less committal you do to your combo, the better. But also because we are a Kindle deck, because we're sitting for a side deck now, like even though I said it's awesome if you don't have to use Striders to do something, but also if you use Striders here, you're not just going to lose the game instantly because now you can't do it anymore. It's just like, you have a deja vu potion, you have a rags, you have things like Kindle. You can still manage to do some really burst turns. A lot of Kanos will tell you now they've done Strider lists. They've literally won games without using Striders. So it shows like you can kind of be loose with it if the time calls. But they're on this let it go through. We're going to transcend, get a resource, get the blue back. So this is guarantees that we get a bonds now. So this is most likely going to be a double bonds turn the way it's looking. I still don't like blocking super early here. Because like if I'm blocking, I'm probably just committing to blocking for most of the turn cycle. But again, I would be shocked if they didn't have a bunch of reds in hand. Well, for this being time 2 speed, Jesus Christ. Like, not to be that guy, but like I just need to see something for like because I'm being a little bit of a hater. What is this at like normal speed? How painful is this? Okay. Is looking. What are we? So here's my issue again. Maybe I'm just a douchebag, but it's like you kept all the cards in your. You kept these cards for your turn, right? You played this bond. You played this Ascendant out. The moment the Kano says, like, you should already have an idea of what you're doing when you're playing this. It's like it's a bonds. He's already looked in his graveyard, so he knows what's in there. It's like, okay, this is my most likely line. This is like the flowchart. And again, I play with a flowchart mentality. So that's why like I'll be making these decisions a lot quicker. You're just like, okay, Kano like F6s on this. I'm gonna grab this, do this, and these are my follow-ups. If the Kano interrupts at some point, I already kind of know like what my secondary game plan is. Depending on how many cards I lose. The fact that he's keeping cards, I do need to keep back in my mind that the less resources I actually have to use, like from hand or here, the better. So I'm gonna be looking for lines that don't actively um, cost resources. So that's why like a bonds would be good or like a double bonds. Because you're gonna have bonds do a bunch of damage and go again and grab another card for 0 resources. And you can if you can keep a hand in this situation, because again you are Zen, you actively like playing blues. You can IP yourself or keep a card and arsenal it if it's a blue. Um, it's just I don't know, man. I think I might just be a douche. Okay, pulls a card to the front. I'm pretty sure it's bonds. Now we're stopped. What are we? What, what are we looking at? What are we looking for? Maybe it's just my ADHD, dude. Maybe I'm just the problem. But like I can't, brother. You already have the bonds here. You're gonna be re-looking in your deck anyway. Just play. Get the fucking bonds. Get the fucking bonds. What else are you getting other than the bonds? Like yeah, like in theory, like he's looking for his target. Like you don't know what your target is when like you're on your turn. Because watch this. He's gonna grab the bonds, shuffle his deck, offer it to his opponent, play the bonds, look through his deck again. Watch this. We're gonna play this in normal speed. Brother, put the bonds on. Put the bonds on the table. Put the fucking bonds on the table. Put the bonds on the. Bro, my ADHD can't handle this, dude. My ADHD cannot handle this. Brother, put the fucking bonds on the table. No, no. There's no way he's looking at his deck again. There's no way he's looking at his deck. Chat, please tell me I'm recording. Nah, hold on. This has been 48 minutes, brother. Oh crap. No, no, the game. Oh crap. Is this the game? Is this the game? Hold on. Wait, I somehow just like went exactly to the exact same part. I'm just the goat. Hold on. But he like puts it to the It's just like he looks for it. He's looking for like 20 minutes. And it was like, I'm like, okay, after like 2 years, he's gonna put it on the table and show, I got a bonds. I'm not gonna shuffle. He puts it back in his deck. Here's just my issue, right? The only thing I could think of here, the only thought that I could see here, is he possibly wants to get a different color bonds. I mean, he's on Shuko. I guess since this is like a non-ancestral harmony, non-art of war turn, so I don't hate like maybe going like I'll get like a blue or yellow bonds here. Take a slight hit, but have a stronger pump turn. Like if that's the philosophy here. But again, you know what you have it already at this point. I don't know how we don't know what our conclusion is. Bro, how are we going back through the deck? Okay, it's okay. We did it. I don't know how long it took, but we got there. All right. So now here's the issue. We're gonna shuffle. God, this is gonna. But by the way, guys, I'm so sorry. It is just I'm a very honest person. This is triggering the heck out of me. Okay, now we're shuffling a bunch. Okay. Here we go. We're struggling. We're struggling with the push. We're struggling. Or we're just like murdering our cards. Hell yeah. Alright, shuffling again, offering a cut. Let's go, opponent. Our opponent's cutting. Let's go. Triple cut. Oh, triple cut. Does it again. Let's get it. So here's the issue. Okay, the Art of War. Okay. So again, this would have been the only like inflection point here. Is if like I'm not on a pump turn, maybe I get the blue. But again, you know you have the Art of War. Like at this point, you know you want to maximize the damage per card. So you almost always get the red one. Especially since you're not on Shuko. So now we have to do a pause for this Art of War. And for KANO, you don't care. Yeah, get the fucking resource off. But right now, you don't care. As the KANO, you're F6 and you're saying, yeah, it's fine. The only way you do something here is if you have, like, a Kindle and a Wildfire, and you can get a really high damage combo off and force them to lose cards. Or you get them so low and you say, okay, you can have your combo, but you're going to be in kill range for the rest of the game on even my 4-card hands. But like this is also an easy decision. The KANO, like, so you don't pretend on what's on the top of your deck here. If Wildfire is like the only thing you have. I know we probably looked at his hand, and I don't remember what's in his hand anymore. I'm just gonna be real with you. But if you don't have a surefire, I know like what my damage output is if they AB, like between how many times they AB. You're almost always just F6ing here. There's no reason to go for it. And again, unless you know, okay, if they AB twice, I can do like 30 with this combo. Or if like one of these is a red, I do like 35 or something. Like, yeah, I would go for it. I think if I can get the ZEN to like 10, and then like they take me to like maybe like 8. I'm probably like okay with this. Like obviously it's a little sketchy, but if I can maybe get them to like if I can get this flipped, if I'm at 10 and they're at 8, I feel super comfortable there. But depending on your hand, and again, he's also had plenty of time to look at see what's happening here. He should know his like damage output pretty easily. The only thing that's not face up is like he doesn't know the ZEN's damage output, which would be the only thing. But like that just gives me more of a reason to just let this happen. Like I'm a person that like I let so much stuff resolve as KANO. And I'm just like, yeah, like if I'm gonna kill you, I'm just gonna kill you until you're dead. But like I know he had he had lessons. We know he has wildfire lessons. The rest of the hand structure, I'm unsure. I would assume he probably has at least one blow. And in this specific spot, like I guess I don't hate the pause if you didn't plan on wildfire and you just thought it'd be like a normal bonds. But looks like we're see wildfire blazing. So if I had to guess, this is 2 blues. So it's 2 blues. Sorry, I didn't say Wildfire. I meant to say Blazing Lessons. Lessons. Blazing. So what we're most likely going to see here is we're going to see a KANO here. And then you have a few options, and you can KANO again with the blue. And then you can activate Ragamuffin's Hat. In response to the Ragamuffin's Hat, you can activate Deja Vu to put the blue on top. Grab the blue, and then put the other card on the bottom. And then you'll have these two things here. You won't have any mana floating. But like you'll have like a blue here. You'll have a blue here. And then this KANO will resolve. You'll probably put the lessons there, so then you have lessons able to be played. We know we have Wildfire. And then if you just KANO again, right? If you just KANO again, you have Blazing. So the amount of resources that's needed to do this is you'll need 2 for the Wildfire, 1 for the Blazing. You don't need any mana for this. So you have 3 mana required to be able to play the spells. Now you do need the extra 1 here for the Striders, but like in theory you can just say that takes care of that. Like yes, you don't actually want to do that, but this is like it's like a very shortcut kind of thing here. So because you already have this, you don't actually have to worry about the damage that the Lessons does. Again, well, plus since you're getting Blazing doesn't actually matter anyway. The only limitation is like how many times you can pump. But again, because we know we can get blue off of the Deja Vu potion, we know we're kind of set. Now, the only thing that we have here is like how much like this ZEN wants to give. And again, like this is why he does go for this here. Is he's putting, especially since he knows he has combo. Like this is like I know for a fact I can do something. Is like he's going to put the ZEN in a spot was like you can keep your cards. You're gonna be at like sub 10, or you can give me cards, and now your auto return sucks. So now it is kind of on the ZEN and how the ZEN wants to play from here. That's why Deja Devotion's so good. Oh, I have it paused. I was like, what the? I was like, why is he just pausing like this? So there's the blue. So this is the KANO KANO. Deja Vu. Yeah, so this is what I was talking about earlier. He's going to put the blue on top. Oh, yeah, the blue should be on top now then. Rags. He's 100% guaranteed to get the blue. Puts that card on top. So now his hand. Oh, yeah, and puts on the bottom. See, I'm so. I guess it doesn't matter. Like, as long as that's a blue too, or maybe a complex, doesn't really matter. So we know his hand is blue E-Pot. So he has 5. So he accesses 6 resources. What the fuck? Wait, hold on. Sorry. So we know the KANO here has access to 6 resources. Then again, this is going to be 3 because of the strike. Well, hold on, I'll do it like this. We know he has 6 resources. This is going to cost 1. This is going to cost 2. This is going to cost 1. So this is 4. This is 4. If he had another resource, so if he had access to 7, he could have another KANO. But he can't. So, what's going to happen here is with these 6 resources, obviously we'll pay 1 here. This Wildfire will come in. You can Crucible and Metacarpus Nodes this. That'll be your only pumps for the turn. And the only issue is like this lessons kind of does nothing, but it doesn't really matter since you already have the spell you would have tutored and KANO'd anyway. So this Wildfire is going to come in for 6. The ZEN would So let's start off with the ZEN AB3s here. So the ZEN's going to AB3. This Wildfire will now deal 3. This lessons will come in for another 6. The ZEN, if again, we'll pretend this is also blue. Not likely, but this will pretend this is other blue. it will deal 3 because it's going to be 3. Now he has no cards in hand. You'd probably like search for like Kindle here. You'll probably search for Kindle. So then you have this blazing. This blazing has seen 6 damage plus 3, 9. So altogether, this is like what, 15? So 15 minus what it was. Yeah, I don't know why, but like this looks like a 6 to me. Don't ask why it looked like a 6 to me. But but like we would minus. How do I make it 15 to the size like this? Oh, look at me! Look at me fucking go, dude! I'm a fucking goat. But we would go to. Can I make it 2 to the side? Oh, I can. God, I'm so good at this. We would take him to 22 here. Obviously not great. Obviously not amazing. No, yes, we do just like neg his turn, but like if we're negging his turn, take him to 22. Like that's not that's not really where we want to be. Um, but one thing I forgot midway through is we know one of these is a crouching tiger. Yeah, because he just zenned. And he hasn't got to pay cost. Like you don't pay cost. You just choose modes. So we can redo this math, and let's pretend it's just 1 blue. So this wildfire is gonna come in for 6. He'll AB 3, take 3. This lessons will come in for 6. He cannot AB it. So I'll take 6. 6 and 9 so far. So then this blazing will see 9 damage plus another 3, 12. So this will be 21, and then we have 21. I'm so awesome. I can do this sideways. I didn't know I could do that. We have 16. Hold on, can I make this 6? Like, how do I make? Yeah. So this is also not something I'm mega comfortable with. In this exact spot. Now, my opponent being at 16 again. If I have someone like a Kano, and I believe this is the first wildfire that he's seen. There are wards where you can still kill pretty easily, but you did use all of your resources like here for it. So now you're kind of just playing a dangerous game where you need the top of your deck to be kind of you. And again, we talked about how he's seen a bunch of blues, like even still. So like that, like a lot of like that red hand's coming up. That red hand is coming up. If he ends up dodging it, it's all good for him. Let me check something real quick. If he ends up dodging it, that's awesome for him. But it's not like the most likely scenario. If it all happens, that's awesome. Obviously, the last thing I want to do here is let's pretend this is like a red. The last damage calculation is this wildfire is going to come for 6. Who AB 1 will take 5. This lessons will come in for 8. He cannot AB it, so I'll take 5. This blazing will see 13 plus another 5. Let me a little better. 18. So like what? 26 plus 5, 31. Alright, if my math is correct. Yeah. So like this scenario, they go to 6. And obviously you can see the power of where A-Bing is, like how big the difference is. Like on a wildfire combo, it's plus 5, minus 5. I believe Eighth of Flare is minus 4 plus 4, if I remember correctly. But you just see the drastic difference of like the mystery color of this card right here and what it does. So let's go ahead and move on to, let's see how this play turns out. The color of this card is so important. Well, like what I'm doing, I think another reason I'm super impatient, it is super late for me. And I'm on like low amounts of sleep. So my brain is hurting, but I really wanted to get this video out. But yeah, we should know it's gonna be wildfire. It's gonna get to pump it twice. Ooh, what? Oh, he might be just being lessons, blazing. Uh, so yeah, let's see if that's what he's doing. If he's doing lessons, blazing. That is a line I did not consider. Oh, tome. Okay, is this not wildfire? Well, I swear this is wildfire. Or did he not stack a blue on top of it? Or was a blue not the top card of his deck? I had to have missed something. Like, I had to have missed something. So yeah, that's a blue. What? Wait. What? Wait, no, hold on. No, hold on. I had to have missed something. I had to have missed something. I'll just have the footage roll. But yeah, no. That's just that's not wildfire. I swear it was a wildfire though. I don't know what I looked at and thought it was a wildfire. Let me actually think here. Okay, no. So this line actually makes more sense. So the thing I initially did not consider, the thing I initially didn't consider was, hold on. Let me see if he has one or two cards at this time. He just played the tome, so he should be drawing two. So he should have one card in hand if I'm like not slow. Plays the tome, draws two. So wait, he then wildfires. Wait, hold on. I had to just. I think I'm having a stroke. Wait, because no, it makes sense if he had like two cards in hand, but like no, I have to be having a massive stroke. There's no way I didn't have a stroke just now. Wait, wait. Okay, so okay, so what this line allows, because I will talk about what this line allows. So we have the four banked up here. We've already dealt the four. What this line allows, because assuming this is a blue, but that's the issue with like this tome line, is you're drawing a random card. You're drawing random cards, and if they're not blue, it's really bad. Is we'll pretend this is a blue because he has this. So if he Kanos and gets this playable spell, preferably like an Aether Flare or something. But like let's just assume it's a 0 for 1. And then he can just like Metacarp. No, that's why like that's why like it's kinda interesting here. There can be a world where you just Kano. And like yeah, you're playing a little face up, but like your opponent kinda knows like you're already kinda committed, so like playing face up doesn't really matter. And like they're gonna AB this almost no matter what. I don't hate Kanoing in response to this. Seeing what type of spell it is to see, because if it's a Zero Cost and that can and you can like Spellfire pump this to 5, it's a lot better. But let's go through the damage and like the kind of like the most average case scenario. So you've already done 4. This wildfire is going to come in for 4. Again, the opponent, if they AB, they'll AB 3, it'll deal 1. And then let's say the like you do end up canoing and it's a 0 for 1. You would probably not want to use this for just like 1 extra damage in that spot. So then it's going to deal 2. So then the blazing is going to do what? 4, 6, 7. Wait, 7, 8. So this is a 10, 11. This is a 15 damage turn. I have to assume I missed something because I'm way too tired because I don't understand why we went for this kind of line. Again, like you get bailed out slightly if this is like a flare. Like, okay, let's just say like this is a flare. Actually, let's also do the math that this is a flare. So you have 4 that you've already done. This is gonna do 1. If it's a flare, let's just make it a red flare. Red flare is gonna come in for 4. And then this blazing is gonna see 8, 9, 9 plus 1 plus 4, so it's gonna be 5 plus 9. 14, so it's gonna deal 14. So then we dealt 15 plus 4 is 19 plus 4. Wait, what? 14 plus 4 is 18. 19, 23. Yeah, I just don't like this line. I just don't like this. And I have to just assume I missed something because I just don't understand what I'm missing and why we would go for this kind of line and we do lessons, especially when we have face-up information that one of these is crouching tigers. Like, let's talk about what he actually could have done. Let's actually back up a little bit because this is something I do want to talk about. So at this point, what did you already do the lessons? Hold on. Let's get to the point where he lessons. So the opponent goes Crucible lessons. The opponent just takes the 4. So now you're gonna search. Hold on, let me pause. Sorry for this, but I just want these teaching moments. So you would grab lessons. Actually, wait. You can't even lessons, blazing. Because you only have 1 card. Right? Wait, so then... Wait, why did we go for this? Wait, he had EPOT, right? Wait. What happened to the EPOT mana? Oh, I need to go back. I have to go back. Because, like, I have to just assume okay. Okay, so we did our KANOs, we did our Depot. So this I called exactly correct. Okay, so we rags. That's fine. We pop. We go to 2. We crucible. Wait, oh, not crucible. Yeah, we crucible lessons. So then he has exactly 1 mana. I mean, sorry, 1 card. Yeah, this is why he's priced into getting the tome. This is the reason he has to get a tome, because now his hand's just 1 card that does nothing. So then now he has to get a tome, have 2 blues, have one of the cards KANO into a good red. Wait, no, wait. I think we just what? I think we're just trolling. Chat. Please let me know if I'm actively trolling and just missing something, because like we're all humans here. If I'm missing something major because I'm extremely tired, please let me know. But I'm 90% sure we're actively trolling and trying to lose the game by taking the line that we just did. That's the conclusion I'm going to come to. I need to see the conclusion of this. But like, I'm pretty sure this is like the most troll thing I've ever seen. And it's like this person like he understands KANO because like he's moving at a decent pace. I just I don't understand. I just don't understand. Chat, please. I really. Oh God. I'm so scared that I'm actually just missing something major. And like there was a reason we took this line. When we have face-up information that we know one card is a Crouching Tiger. Because I believe we let Zen resolve, right? Zen's resolved? Please, dear God. No, please. Oh, Jesus Christ. Or are they trying to figure out life? Alright, I think they're trying to figure out life. Yeah, she bet 29. Yeah, it goes back to normal. Take 6. Brother, ew. Alright, so the opponent decided to not AB anything. So the line ends up being fine. The line ends up being fine. But it's only fine because our opponent decided to not AB. Like, yeah, if you don't AB Fallout Fire, like, almost any line's fine, right? I just definitely think we... Okay, let me... Oh, God. I guess we... Let me think. I do think this is a good thought experiment. I need to see something. So we dealt 4, 4, 6. So this would have been 14 plus 4, 18. Right? Or did 18? So this is like what? 10, 28, 32? Am I correct? It's still 32? I might be missing like a damage bill. Like it dealt like 32 or 33 or something. I might be missing like a random buff. So this is if the opponent didn't AB at all. Obviously, if they just AB this wildfire for like even 1, yeah, like let's just say this is red and it's dealt 3. This would have been 7. 7. We would have been down 1 here. Well, because like, and here's the weird thing: you should, if you were gonna do this, you should just pump the wildfire. Wait a, wait, wait a second. We got a bat. Did he just miss lethal? Because he didn't pump the wildfire. Wait, hold on a second. Punts at 33. Hold on, I gotta check his resources now, because now I think I think I'm gonna lose my shit again. So we dealt 4. So we dealt 4. Okay. He's gonna search for Tome. Also, the fact that he didn't get a single red fucking must be nice. That's super fortunate they didn't get a red. Especially with how many blues that he's seen. I have to just... There's just no way. Or I'm going to make 2 different lines. So this is Wildfire for 4. Okay, so like that was what I was saying. So it's Wildfire for 4. And if he pumped it here, Wildfire for 5. Because this is just he... I mean, I guess in theory, maybe this person ABs it then. So I guess slight mid-max, you make your opponent up. But like, it's Wildfire. If they're going to AB Wildfire, they're always going to AB Wildfire. Like they should almost always do it. If they plan on if they like if you like giving face information and like metacarpus knowing this should not be the reason they like now don't wildfire. Okay, so I dealt 4. Okay, so my math is right so far. So he's dealt 8. So we're dealt 8 here, 9 here. So we metacarpus know this. Metacarpus know this for some unfathomable reason. So we dealt 6. Versus if we did the wildfire, it'd be the same, right? Hold on, it'd be the exact same. Because this would all fire. Okay, so yeah, you'd be the exact same here. No, I'm not trolling, correct? I'm not trolling. Yeah, because this is either getting pumped by 1 or getting pumped by. Yeah, it's the exact same. So we dealt 6. So it's like what, 14? Here you've dealt 15. Oh god. Oh no. Oh, I know how this ends. I don't like this. Brother, you're not A Bing. If you would A B'd anything, it'd be this fucking wildfire. You're not A Bing. Stop. There's no shot. And this is times 2 speed. I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna lose it. I don't think my heart can take this. Okay. So then we ops. Yeah, the op is fine. So then we blazing. I gotta see because let me see because yeah, it should be. Wait, what? I mean that's probably correct. Okay. So blazing comes in. This should be the numbers that this is what they should have taken. So they should have taken 18. Wait, does he have here a 19? Wait, no, I have to be missing something because I think he has him taking 19. Because he's so. Okay, yeah, he has it correct. Takes 18. Okay. Oh, wait, I need to undo. Undo. So this comes in for 18. So then this is like what, 8 plus 4 is 2. 32. Okay. So on this side, blazing is saying 15 plus 4, 19. And then 19 plus 15 is. Sorry again, my fucking brain hurts right now. Apologies if I'm doing this slightly slow. Should be 34, right? 34. I'm not trolling, right? I just need to make sure I'm not trolling. So we dealt 4 with lessons. We dealt 5 with wildfire. So we've dealt 9 so far. So then this comes in for 6. We've dealt 15 so far. We've seen blazing is saying 19. Well, 15 damage plus 4 is 19. And then 15 plus 20 is 25. Wait, 15 plus 20 is 35. So minus 1 is 34. Okay. So, like, because we did this, we just lost 2 damage. With this line. So, like, the ZEN realistically should be at 3. Like, and, like, the thing that people don't understand is there is actually a difference between 5 and 3. Because if your opponent's at 3, any, like, 4 damage spell, now, like, especially if it's, like, a flare or something, like puts them in fucking danger. Or if it's 5, they have a slight amount of wiggle room if you don't have awesome Kanos. And again, like depending on how big their turn's going to be, because like we know they have a bonds, we know they're about to draw 2 cards. Like I don't think we die here. Well, we definitely put ourselves in a position to lose still. So like the line ended up working out. It was just you had to have some amount of RNG, which like maybe the player like just like okay, I can only win this through some amount of luck, so he doesn't go for standard combo. He goes for a little bit of a high roll there. But yeah, Sorry that was a little bit long. I couldn't tell if I was having a stroke. All right. So now what should be happening is wait, is this okay? That's graveyard. Now we probably go into a post combo game. It's a little hard versus ZEN when you're at 21. But the normal thing with post combo game is, like in theory, if you did this like after his attack, she would go to our turn, draw up, take whatever amount of their damage, and try have one more main phase. Here, you actively have to take all of the damage, and then what's going to happen because you'll probably be at like 6 or something. Now you're gonna have to rely on the top of your deck, and you have to pray it's probably like 4 blues or like some amount of blues and like a Kindle. And and it's not like Kindle. Like I think you actively need the Kindle. If you don't have the Kindle, it's one of the reasons I play Chain Lightning in my deck is like for spots like this where I can like still have some really big pop off turns. You're asking a lot of the top of your deck now when it's been very favorable for you. Good luck, Kano. Good luck. So we know we have bonds floating. The only and again, not to be that guy. The only issue I have with all this is now the Zen's gonna have to remember everything. It's so cringe. What are we flicking our cards for? Brother, your opponent has declared that he's F6'd. You chose not to block anything. He cleaned up. Do we still not know what we're doing? So this is one thing, and again, this is the last time I'll talk about it, I promise. Is one thing I've been preaching to the team that I coach is time management. Now, like realistically, this game is not going to go too much longer, so it's fine. But the thing that you're going to run into when you consistently have games like this, and you play at this pacing, is you'll find yourself getting to a lot of game states where it's like maybe like sub 10 minutes on the clock, and the game is not really the game might be at a standstill. And you actually need to take a lot more time. By the way, your opponent's also going to take more time. So now that clock is just going to start shredding. And you don't have a lot. But where you can save a lot of this is while it is your opponent's turn, like let's say it's the Kano's turn, they're going to be very limited on what they're going to do. And also, like, while they're thinking, because there's going to be times where they're thinking, right? You also need to be thinking, like, and this is where, like, the flowchart mentality comes. It's like, okay, if I get to keep all of my cards, I'm going to do X. And then you start sprouting off. It's like, okay, if I lose 1 card, I do this. If I lose 2 cards, I do this. If he does this, I'm gonna use my hand here. If he establishes an E-pot or something, I'll do this. And then you consistently branch off of these. And a lot of this comes with time. Like the more time you have with the deck, the easier it is to do something like this. And you'll go from like this, and you'll instantly go down here, and like you'll mentally already pass through this. But like this comes from like I just don't like I have to just assume now this person does not play a lot of Zen. Or actively they're only using their turn to think. Like there's no reason you should only be using your turn to think when there's 2 players' turns. Like yes, again, they could do something that changes what you do. But that does not change the fact that your cards will never change on what they can do. You should already have an idea based on, like, again, especially if you built the deck. Now, if you're borrowing someone's deck, sure. But if you built the deck, you should have some amount of knowledge of what you can and cannot do with your hands. Especially after you resolve the order when you do your cards. Now there's no more random information. It's, you know you're going to play Bonds next. You've already looked at your graveyard. No, this is not great. It's like, so the thing with this here is like, unless you have a Bonds here, or a way to get one, you almost, I mean, you can still get this if you'd like. But because you banish a Crouching Tiger, this Chase-a-Tail is pretty dead. Unless you haven't made a Wick one, or it's just going to be like the Chain Ender. Like, you'll play, like, the Bonds, and then you'll play, like, some other cards, and then you'll play the Chase-a-Tail. This is like, what, Spinning Will Kick here? Like, you can get Spinning Will Kick and just continue on with your day. But again, like, this is stuff, like, you can easily come to these conclusions very quickly. Like, you start here. Do I have a Bonds? Okay. I'm probably not getting Descending Gust Wave. Do I have a way to make a Crouching Tiger? Possibly too. Okay, probably not getting Chase-a-Tail unless it's going to be my Chain Closer. Spinning Will Kick. Okay, I can generically get that every single time and it never be bad. Boom. There you go. That's very simple. And it's even easier because now you don't have to worry about what the KANO's doing. The KANO's literally tapped out, openly have said they F6. You're now playing Solitaire. And again, I'm not trying to be a dick. These are just things I want to stress. Because you're going to, again, come into situations where playing like this and being so unsure in this speed is like, you're going to hurt your brother. You just looked at your graveyard. I promise I'm not toxic. I promise. I promise you I'm not toxic. Okay, if you're thinking on links, you'd like, can links literally anytime, it does not matter. So, okay. So now, oh, wait, this is even easier because, like, again, everything's face up. So your options here, to kind of pull this back up, is if you want to link, so obviously it partially depends on, like, deck building, right? But if you're on something like Salt the Wound, or something, like, this kind of changes. But if you're on something like Salt the Wound, 9 times out of 10, this links is just going to get blue Bonds. So, like, you could go Descendant into Bonds, and Descendant into Bond, and, like, depending on, like, what your pitch is here, you could get, like, this, again, the Spinning Wheel Kick, or the Chase-a-Tail, and then anything else on top of that's just kind of like gravy, right? Like, I have played a good amount, I did play a lot of ZEN, that's what I played in that, so, like, again, this, like, flowchart thing, I kind of already understand. Mind you, our opponent just, like, he just looked through everything. Just want to point that out. So let's come in for that. He's going to links. Could have just linked already, by the way. Again, not trying to be the guy. We could have just linked, because we knew we were going to links. We could have just linked then. We didn't need to, like... Okay, I noticed I wouldn't say anything. But, like, again, like, there's just... Again, this is also just unnecessary stuff. Like, you're also just wasting more energy. And again, I care about every last, like, thing here when it comes to education. Okay, so this link, this hit here, right? Link's triggered. Your opponent physically can't do anything. You're not, unless you have access to drawing more cards or some other random thing. We all know you're going to get blue bonds, so just shortcut here and be like, okay, Link's trigger, I'll get a blue bonds, play the blue bonds here, put that in banish, get another one, play Descendant, play bonds, and then go from there. But it's like, we took what we tanked here. We tanked, played the play that the only play we would ever do. Then we linksed. I don't know, dude. I don't know. And again, I don't know why we wouldn't do it here. Like, what are we? Because like he was gonna adjust. He's like, oh, should I? Should I? I'm like, yes. I like. Does it technically matter? No, but like, what would be the advantage of waiting? But again, I will openly say I am possibly just a toxic piece of shit, and I will accept that. But yeah, you're always getting blue bonds here, and your opponent's not blocking. So we are gonna shuffle, do all this, like yeah, like even if it's like on stream, like even if somebody wants to say, well, they're on stream, they have to. It's just like, bro, if there is a table judge there, like I don't. Again, maybe I'm wrong. I don't see a scenario where the table judge goes, your opponent's hopefully F6ing, physically can't block. We know these game actions are possible. Yes, you can shortcut. But again, maybe I'm just too lenient as a judge myself. So yeah, you're always gonna pitch. You're always gonna pitch this here, sure. Yep, you're always gonna get that. You're always gonna get spinning wheel kick if you don't have ways to make double crouching tiger. So then you're gonna spinning wheel kick for 5. And spinning wheel kick for game. Okay, cool. So especially after I seen how the turn was laid out, like I almost could have mapped out this turn myself. With like not even knowing like these two cards, I could have mapped out this whole entire turn. And you even seen me do it. um but yeah. So overall, like the things that we've seen, and mind you, it's been like an hour and a half. I don't know anymore. But like overall, the things that we've seen is like we did see both of the people do what they're supposed to do. Like both people attempted to burst the other. The KANO did choose to keep their life total high. When they didn't like a hand have the hand they wanted to, and then the like again, it's like turn 2 or turn 3. Like the Zen couldn't fill the graveyard that much, but they filled the cards with graveyard that they could fetch later. Like they filled it with a Descending Gustway, they filled it with a Spinning Wheel Kick. So in their pop up turn, they had access to go again. They had access to the bonds lines and all that stuff. So both people execute their game plans. It's just um the Zen was able to have just a little bit extra life. No, like yes, obviously because like the game ended this way, like the -2 left doesn't matter because like yeah, Zen just won at 3. But like I would have to relook again and see if any damage was missed or any opportunities were missed later. It's a possibility that no damage was missed, and outside that turn, the KANO played optimally hand to hand when it came to known information. But like I said, most of the things I'm trying to stress, these are to gain small edges in games, and these are just like macro concepts to take to other games. But yeah, I talked your guys' head off in this one. There will be more VOD reviews to come, especially with KANO. If you guys did enjoy this VOD review, make sure you guys like, and subscribe. If you guys have a specific hero matchup or a specific hero you would like broken down, please put it in the comment section. But that is all from me. It's been your boy Siphon from Siphon TCG. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.